We're going to explain how to efficiently utilize Flake8 in VS Code to ignore specific rules. Flake8 is a fantastic tool for enforcing code style and finding potential errors in your Python projects, but sometimes its rules can be too strict or not applicable to your specific situation. Fortunately, ignoring specific Flake8 rules within VS Code is straightforward and can significantly improve your workflow. We'll cover several methods, allowing you to choose the best approach depending on your needs. Tier 1. Ignoring a specific line. The simplest way is to add a comment directly in your code to disable a Flake8 warning on that particular line. For example, if you have a line flagged by rule E501, line too long, you can add #noca E501 at the end of that line. #noca comment tells Flake8 to ignore the rule for that line only. Remember to replace E501 with the actual code of the rule you wish to ignore. This is great for one-off situations where you don't want to change your code but still need to keep Flake8 happy. 2. Ignoring a rule within a function or class. If you need to ignore a rule across an entire function or class, you can add the #noca E501 comment at the end of the relevant function or class definition. Instead of placing it at the end of each line, you need to put it at the end of the definition line only. However, be cautious. Using this approach can make it difficult to understand why you're ignoring rules. So if you are ignoring a rule in many places, you should explore the other methods below. 3. Ignoring a rule across a file. To disable a rule for an entire file, use the same #noca E501 comment, but place it at the very end of the file. This method should only be used when absolutely necessary, as it can obscure real issues within the code. Only use this if ignoring the rule is justified across the entire file for a specific, well-understood reason, and consider refactoring the file if possible. 4. Using a bot Flake8 configuration file. For more advanced control, you can create a bot Flake8 file in the root directory of your project. This file allows you to configure Flake8 settings, including ignoring specific rules globally for the entire project. Inside this file, you specify rules to ignore using the ignore option. For example, ignore equals E501 W293 would ignore line too long warnings, E501, and trailing whitespace warnings W293 project-wide. This is the most organized method, providing a central location to manage Flake8 settings. 5. Utilizing VS Code settings. VS Code itself lets you customize linting behavior. You can add settings to your VS Code settings, usually accessed via File Preferences settings or Code Preferences settings depending on your operating system, to disable specific rules. Look for Flake8 related settings to see if specific rules can be disabled through VS Code's own settings. This may vary depending on the Flake8 extensions you have installed. Remember to be thoughtful when ignoring Flake8 rules. It's generally better to address the underlying issues rather than ignoring them. These techniques should only be applied for legitimate exceptions, and always ensure your code remains clean and readable, even if you've had to bypass a few Flake8 rules temporarily. Using a Flake8 file is recommended for managing widespread exceptions rather than adding #noca comments throughout your files, which can lead to code maintenance difficulties.